Okay, JC and I have been videoing some of the meals that we've been cooking. Some are for our Facebook Friday, and some are just the recipes that we really enjoy that we don't get to eat often, and we want to record it so our kids can go back and learn how to make it for themselves when they're older. This is going to be shrimp etouffee. We have got a lot of ingredients, as you can see here. So kiddos, pay attention. Your dad he is going to be the cook of this meal. He's going to use oil, butter, chopped celery, chopped green onions, and this would be chopped onions, but because you guys don't like onions, and he doesn't like the texture of onions, I puree it. You don't even know what's in there, ha ha. Anyway, there's also going to be flour, tomato paste, you'll need water, you'll need shrimp, and you'll need the seasonings of your choice, but we have chose some cayenne pepper, salt, and pepper. We're going to pause the video a lot in between this because it takes, about 40 minutes to cook?
About 30.
About 30?
About 20.
About 20? Okay. Okay, well, we're going to pause the video now and get everything to our cooking station. Okay, we have moved the ingredients over to the cooking station, and JC has already added the oil and the butter, and he is now getting ready to add the veggies, which is your celery. I do not have the measurements in the actual bowls, but when you read the recipe, it will tell you how much of each one you need to have. So you're not going to hear me tell you how many measurements. Screen onions. You're going to add the onions now?
The onions. You're the speaker here.
Well, I was speaking and you just interrupted earlier, so I thought maybe you wanted to speak. He's stirring it around real good, and now he's going to just let it cook and come to a glaze. As you can see now, it kind of looks a little watery, and when it's ready, we'll show you what it should look like as it's glazed before you go on with your recipe and the other ingredients. Okay, we are about halfway into it, and as you can see, the vegetables are starting to look glazed. They're not as watery looking. There's a shiny texture to them, or sheen. And now JC's going to add the seasonings. Just putting a little cayenne in there. And he'll be putting some pepper. And a little salt. So after this, what's next as far as waiting time, or do we immediately get ready to do the next ingredient? Or?
No, we're going to let them flavors cook into all this other stuff and let it glaze some more, and you want all these chunks to kind of get real soft. You don't want it to kind of be a crunchy peel. So we're going to let all those flavors mix in together. And make sure while you're doing this that these stay under a lid, because it kind of sucks all the juice out of everything.
Okay.
And that's it until it gets ready for the next step.
Okay, we are back, and JC is ready to go into the next step. What is that going to be, JC?
Alright, next step, once you glaze this about 10-15 minutes, you'll notice everything's kind of soft, and you got a little bit of juice and that oil still in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the flour, and we're going to let that flour suck up all the leftover juice that's in it. And you want it to take up any slack of juice that's in it. Probably do it right there. And what we're going to do is just brown this for a minute. So what we'll do is pause it, and once we get this brown, we'll show you putting the water in it.
All right. All right, we are back again. Ready for the next step, aren't we?
Yep. All right, we got the flour we put in there. It sucked up all the juice that was left over, and we let it brown itself. Now once it's browned itself, we'll put the tomato paste in it and mix this up. And you need to have some warm water handy.
That's what you got in this picture here, I believe.
First thing you want to do is get this kind of mixed all together first.
It smells good.
Once you get that stage done, it's going to turn into something similar to a gravy. Don't pour it all in there at one time. And you're going to mix this up.
So I guess depending on the batch you're making is going to depend on how much water you use, right?
You're just going to play with it as you go.
And you're just going to keep adding the water until
we get it to a good gravy style.
Okay.
And then once that's done, we're ready for the shrimp.
So then you should be able to probably just take a spoon and just pour it out like a soup maybe, as far as a gravy texture.
A little thicker than that, but that's pretty close.
All right.
Okay, whenever we get it ready get it the texture we need, we'll come back and show you.
All right. Okay, I think you've got it at that stage you were talking about, right?
Yeah, we got it at a gravy form, not too loose, because once we put the shrimp in there, it's going to loosen it up even more. All right.
I think for the batch we're making, we're using about 4 pounds of shrimp. Depending on your family size, the recipe that we will have listed on our Facebook page it's actually made for this batch. But if you feel like it's just for you and your husband and maybe one child, you may want to divide the recipe. But this feeds our whole family of 5 children and 2 adults. So, you know, it's a pretty good batch.
We'll have to put the lid on it and let it boil until the shrimp are done, and then it's ready.
Okie dokie. Okay, looks like we're nearing the end of this, huh?
Yeah, I just turned it off. We got our shrimp are done in there. We got a good gravy consistency. And now all you do is you serve it over rice.
So how do they know if the shrimp are done?
Shrimp don't take no longer than about probably 10 minutes max. You just have to at least give them 10 minutes boiling.
Yeah, it looks like they've turned a different color too.
Yeah. You just have to read up on that. I don't know about all that.
All right then. So this was our shrimp etouffee. Hopefully this recipe will be something that our kids will go back and view and learn how to make. I know it's one of their favorite meals. So you all have a good day.